All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today for this presentation. Be a doctor, mom, or grandma ready for anything. So I'm Erleen Tilton, and I'm glad that you're here to learn this information. So I wanted to just start first telling a little bit about myself. This is my family. You can see all of my children have grown. I have 6 children. And actually, this is our family of a few years ago. We've added several to the bunch since, but I love my family. I love my children, my grandchildren, and even one great grandchild at present. They are my life, and I wanted to share this because of where I started in wellness and where I started in my journey, because I wasn't always this health conscious, but I had some reasons why I became more interested in my health. So, where did my wellness journey begin? The first thing was with my unbroken health. I started as a young mom with a lot of challenges, and I turned to nature for solutions. And I go into my story a little bit more in other presentations, but I turned to nature for the answers. And I was so glad I did, because within a few short months, 5 or 6 months, actually, my health completely was able to turn around. And I was a totally different person just by looking to nature for my solutions to the challenges that I was facing. Secondly, as a young mom, and a little bit after this time, my second child, my son, had ear infections, and ear infections one right after another. And I went the typical normal route that people did with the pharmaceuticals, and I did not find the answers. After 6 months, he was still having challenges, and I was disappointed in the fact that I was not getting the results that I was looking for. So again, I turned to nature and found amazing success. The third time was actually my oldest daughter and my son at this time. We went on a camping trip. And while on that camping trip, we encountered many things, and I felt so unprepared as a mom. I felt like I was helpless. I couldn't take care of my children like I would like to. And I was frustrated with that. I was frustrated with not only not being prepared, but not knowing what to do to help a child that needed help. And I just felt like I really, really wanted to be more prepared for anything at any time of day, with solutions that were safer, more effective, and affordable. A few years later, I saw this statement from the National Mental Health Association that said, "The truth is that preschool age children are the fastest growing age group being prescribed antidepressants." Now, actually, this was about 10 years ago that I saw that statement, and I was really frustrated. I thought, these are our children, and they're the fastest growing age group being prescribed antidepressants. Why? What is going on? Why do we have so many of our people suffering, and especially children? And I thought, I really wanted to be more prepared. I wanted to have some tools at my fingertips that I could be a better mom, and now a better grandmother, to help my children and my grandchildren. This was super, super important to me, because I like being prepared. I like to be able to help when I can. So I began learning all about plants and all about the body. And I started using them, reaching for them when I had any type of an ailment for myself or for my children. And then I began sharing my successes with my friends and teaching people what I was learning. And actually, just recently, my daughter met a friend from our childhood area where they grew up. And she was talking about, oh, your mom, she was kind of the medicine woman of the neighborhood. And my daughter was just laughing. But, I loved being able to share the things that I learned with the people I associated with, and my neighbors. Then I started teaching full day and 8-week herbal workshops so that you could identify plants and formulas and tinctures. We made salves and syrups and poultices. We made all kinds of formulas, and it was really fun. But the part about this that was frustrating was that people felt like it was just too difficult to do. They felt like it was not easy to go and find all of these things, identify and create these formulas and tinctures. And they weren't as excited and as dedicated as I was. And I realized they were not following through like I felt like they could or should be doing. Then I found essential oils. Now, I really, really enjoyed the essential oils because they were natural compounds found in plants. And actually, we get them through steam distillation. Most of them come that way. Some of them are cold pressed extracted, but they were powerful. They were safe. They were super, super effective, less expensive, without side effects. And better than that, they were way more convenient. They were more available at my fingertips 24/7. And other people got more excited about it. They did not have to go identify plants and make all these formulas and tinctures and salves and syrups that I found interesting. They wanted to just have it made. And I found a very reliable source, which was doTERRA. Not only that, I felt that I could carry them with me everywhere I went. And to me, this was super, super important. doTERRAs are certified pure, tested grade. So why do these have the ability to be so effective? Actually, because they stimulate action all the way to the cellular level. They can energize, protect, strengthen, and support the cell, calm, soothe, and assist. And everything happens at the cellular level. And that's how we can create happy cells. So if you look at that little picture there, you see the essential oils actually pass through the cellular membrane. And so they can have an effect on the inner part of the cell as well as the outer part of the cell. And to me, that was so important because I felt like I wanted something that I knew I could rely on. I knew I could trust. And I knew that most of what was out there, I couldn't trust. It was not reliable. Now, there's 3 benefits from using essential oils. First of all, the aromatic benefits. You can diffuse it or just inhale them, just smell them, put them on you so you can inhale them. And there's a couple of reasons why these can be so effective. First of all, any type of mood or brain or cognitive functions, just smell. Did you know that smell is the fastest way to actually impact your brain? Just to smell an aroma is super, super effective. And so if you've got these essential oils, they go straight into your limbic system. And this is what governs your mood, emotions, behavior, memory, focus, all of those things. And so you can actually change a result faster by smell than any other way. And that's why our essential oils are super effective. Now, also for any type of respiratory coughs or threats of any kind, aromatically, this is the way we want to use our essential oils. Now, we have so many topical benefits as well. So on the skin, we have so many areas, our feet, our head, bumps and bruises, tummies even, earaches, super, super effective, just putting our essential oils on topically. Also for muscles and joint pain, there is so many great ways to use our essential oils and have superior benefits. Then we have the internal benefits from using essential oils. You can actually add your essential oils to water, to smoothies, and many types of foods. What you want to do is look at that lower right picture is showing a supplement fact label on the essential oil bottle. If you have a bottle that has a supplement fact label, you know it's safe for internal use because it can be a supplement. And this is what gives you energy, vitality, and really good for digestion, internal organs, for alkalizing, for cleansing, for detox. There's so many benefits for adding your essential oils internally. So let me talk about some of the essential oils specifically. And the first area is for calming, soothing, and for mood management. We have several essential oils that are very, very helpful in that way. So lavender is one of the number ones for calming, soothing, and mood. It's very calming, not only to your mood and for relaxing, it's also really good for soothing skin irritants. I have used lavender for burns, especially. This has been my number one oil for burns. It works so amazingly. I remember the first time I heard that, and then I stuck my hand in the oven and got burned, and I ran and got that lavender. I thought, well, let's see if it works. I couldn't believe it. No blister, no scarring, or no sore at all. It just was red, but it went away. And I couldn't believe how fast it worked. So cuts and sores, there's always that pain, and it's very, very calming and soothing. Now, also for sleeping, we have a blend called Serenity, and you could do that with an oil, like putting it in the diffuser or putting it on the back of your neck at night, bottoms of your feet, which is what I do. I put it on the back of my neck every night faithfully before I go to sleep because it's very calming and soothing. And I remember Dr. Hill, who's doTERRA's chief medical advisor, saying everybody needs a good night's rest, not just those with insomnia. And I believe that. So I've really loved Serenity. There's a soft gel capsule that also can be taken as well. Very good for reducing stress and anxiety as well. So these are great for calming, soothing, and managing a mood. So we have essential oils for cleansing, alkalizing, and uplifting. This is our citrus oils, and we have a number of citrus oils that are awesome. Now, one of our best for internal detox is lemon essential oil. Just add it to your water. I love to add drops to my water throughout the day because it is very energizing. It's uplifting. It's also alkalizing. It's good for detox. So it's very, very good for adding to your water. Now, lime and spearmint are my favorite lately, adding to my water. I love the flavors of those two together, but they're also very alkalizing, uplifting. They actually stimulate good gut metabolism, so it speeds up your metabolism. Grapefruit, very good for shrinking those fat cells. Wild orange, very good for emotions. Bergamot is our brain oil. So these are all really good for antioxidant and immune support, and they're also good for calming any type of anxiousness. But they're uplifting for, if you feel you need an uplift. And that's why just inhaling it, just opening the bottle and inhaling it is super effective. In fact, I went to an event one time and this guy was running around just like he was so stressed out. And so I just gave him a sample bottle of lemon essential oil. And he kept coming back to me and he goes, I can't believe how this works. He really, really appreciated how helpful it was for him. First, for skin relief, tea tree is our best go-to, and it's because it's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. By the way, please take screenshots or make sure you're taking notes on these because you won't remember all this information. And this is one of our favorite go-to oils, especially when it comes to any type of mouth sores. Works very, very well. Just apply topically, even if it's inside the mouth or on your lips. It works very, very well. Again, it's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. So it addresses those areas. It's really good for any type of skin irritation, facial blemishes or rashes, insect bites, good for calming those cuts, wounds, and earaches. I went to a class one time and I talked about tea tree being a good oil for an earache. And I was passing it around the room, and one of the first ladies that I gave it to, she said, "Do you mind if I try it? I've had an earache for 3 days." And I said, "Oh, go ahead and try it." And so she did. And there were about 12 people in the room. By the time it got about to, 3/4 of the way, that lady lifted her hand literally and said, "My earache is gone." After 3 days, that wasn't 5 minutes later. And I thought, honestly, I told the people there in the class, I did not bring her here. I did not pay her to say that because I was shocked. I mean, she was the one that said it worked that fast. And it does work amazingly. So it is the best thing for any type of ear problem, as well as any type of skin relief of any kind. How about head, tummy focus, and lowering an elevated temperature? We have peppermint. This is a really exceptional oil. I love the smell of peppermint. But the thing about peppermint, it accelerates the flow. Now, what do I mean by accelerating the flow? Well, anytime you have any type of head tension, or you have an elevated temperature, or you have a digestive issue, it's because you're basically congested and your body has slowed down, especially your lymphatics. And if you can actually apply the peppermint on those areas, like on your temples, on the back of your neck, on the bottoms of your feet, which is where you have the largest pores on your body, that is how it works to accelerate the flow. So it just goes into your bloodstream, it works into your lymphatics, and it increases the flow. And that's why people can actually say, wow, my headache is gone within a couple of minutes, simply because it increases the flow. It helps to reduce an elevated temperature, helps to increase your digestive action as well. It's also really good for improving your focus. And this is the #1 oil I grab for driving alertness, along with frankincense. And I'll talk about that next. I always carry this little keychain with me because I never know when I'm going to need one of these essential oils. And you can see these are very small vials, but I keep this in my car all the time. And I've had times where I'm driving back from California to Arizona, and that's a 6-hour drive, and it's late at night, and I'm by myself, and I don't like driving drowsiness, And so I grab my peppermint as well as my frankincense, and 1 drop in each hand just immediately helps me to be alert and awake. So let's talk about frankincense. It's our oil to help regenerate and restore. So what does that mean? When it's mood and emotions, again, when we're talking about regeneration and restoring, we're talking about uplifting you to your normal levels, either pulling you down from anxiety or stress. It can also uplift you to your normal levels. So it's good for restoring healthy nerve and brain functions. It's also good for your immune system, and especially for DNA support. It's also great for healthy skin. It's just, remember that regeneration and restore ability with our frankincense, and it's excellent. Then we have some blends. This Digestion blend is so good for digestion, and it's a digestive powerhouse for sure. It really is good for calming an upset stomach, promoting healthy digestion, and it's also really good for motion sickness. Now, I bring my grandkids up to my mountain home, and many times they are getting car sick on the way because there's windy roads. Whether I go north or south, we're on windy dirt roads. And this is one oil that I always have in my keychain. And I have pulled it out many, many times because it's been able to stop anybody from that motion sickness so many times. So I put one drop in their hand and I will say, smell it and lick it. And that's what they do. And you know what? I even came up on that windy road today and I was feeling a little nauseous myself. And I grabbed out my Digestion from my purse and put a couple of drops on my tongue. And it really helps. It really helps to just calm that motion sickness. And it just works so well. So we also have a great blend that's a respiratory powerhouse, and that is Breathe. And it's so good to open up those airways, promoting clear breathing, good for seasonal threats. And it's also a really good oil to increase endurance. If you are a runner or for increasing endurance in any type of physical activity, it's amazing. All you do is diffuse it or drop it in your hands. And again, inhale it. Cup your hands over your nose and inhale. It's just excellent for opening those airways. For joint and muscle relief, well, we've got you covered. We have so many solutions that are excellent. First of all, you'll see on the very left is Deep Blue. It is a blend for reducing muscle tension, soreness, and discomfort. Now, we also have these other Deep Blue products, the Deep Blue Rub, the Deep Blue Roll-On, and the Deep Blue Stick. They're great for any type of application on your joints or your muscles. And I've seen them work so fast. Now, the Deep Blue Stick, the one more in the center, actually is kind of like a deodorant stick, and it actually has the copaiba in it, which is really good for pain. And this has been found to be phenomenal. So any one of these products could be used. Now, also, I address this Siberian fir on the right and the sandalwood because for knee and joint issues, sometimes this is your best go-to. And I have found this to be an amazing success for my frozen shoulder that I had 7 or 8 years ago. Oh my gosh, I tried everything under the sun. Nothing worked until I found Siberian fir. And sandalwood is also a great companion to that. Especially, I had injured my knee a few years ago, and this has been a lifesaver. So any of these are also good using before and after a workout. Again, they're great for joint and muscle relief. And let me tell you, they were very, very effective. And again, no side effects. I like the fact that we have something really pure that we can count on to work. For immune support, we have another oil blend called On Guard. You can see that right in the middle. And then we have several other On Guard products, which I will tell you a little bit about them. But let's talk about why we would use On Guard. Really good for diffusing, especially for seasonal threats. You want to dispel those threats as well as the pathogens. And that's why it's great to have a diffuser. You can also put a couple of drops on your tongue or rub it on the bottoms of your feet or your child's feet. This is good. Just a drop. You can gargle for an irritated throat. And it's not only good for as a protective blend to help you through those seasonal threats, but it's also good to use daily. And this is what the On Guard Plus soft gels in the center is all about. You could take those soft gels on a daily basis to give you that good immune support, or you can double up and triple up when you feel something coming on. It works both ways. There's the On Guard drops that are really soothing to be able to suck on. And then we have the On Guard hand spritzer. And we love that. I take that with me everywhere I go. It's in my purse because I don't feel like the hand sanitizers are safe. I don't like the ingredients in them. And I feel very safe with the On Guard hand spritzer, and super, super effective. So for mood and emotional support, we have several oils, but let me just showcase two of them. One is Balance, and it's a grounding blend. And then we have an adaptive blend. And that is really good for both of them, good for managing moods. So they're balancing and stabilizing to your emotions, calming anxiousness and stress, but they also provide good brain support for focus, for cognitive, for any type of brain and emotional functions. So just a quick story about these two oils. About a year ago, we had a real estate transaction that was happening, and I had a phone call that was particularly stressed about it at the time that I had a retreat happening. And several people showed at my door just after this phone call. And I was really stressed out. I was just almost bursting into tears. And I was trying to explain. And one of my friends that had just arrived at the door, she said, "It's okay. Just go get your oils, any oils." And I says, "Oh my gosh, I haven't even thought about my oils because I'm one that's more emotional stable. I really don't have to use oils on a daily basis for emotional stability." But I was really off at this point. And she said, I says, "I don't even know what I'd grab." And she said, "Just go get Balance and Adaptive. Just start with those." So I went and got those, and I thought, Adaptive, I love Adaptive. That's the one I would have grabbed, you know. But she said Balance too. And I thought, well, Balance, it's never done anything for me, but I'll grab it anyway. So I grabbed both of those oils and I went down just to kind of start talking to some of the ladies that had walked in the door. And she said, "Come on, let's get these oils on you." And I thought, oh my gosh, she's having to tell me what to do. I'm a leader, but she's telling me what to do. So anyway, I opened up my Adaptive, which is, I just love the aroma of Adaptive. But I opened it up and I inhaled it and I'm going, ooh, it was just almost repulsive to me. And she says, "Well, open up Balance then." And so I opened up the Balance and I thought, oh my gosh, that was just heavenly. It was so calming. It was so good for just really helping to calm my stress. And I just rubbed it all over me and it immediately just calmed me. And, you know, I've learned that whatever really resonates you at the moment is really what you need. And even though I loved Adaptive and I was not totally fond of Balance, in that instance, Adaptive was not what I needed. Balance was. And I found great success in just calming and being able to get on top of my emotions. I needed to be on top of my emotions. I had people to entertain and I didn't know how in the state of mind that I was in. So these were very, very helpful. And I was so glad that I had that experience. That's why it's kind of nice to have a choice when it comes to some of our essential oils. The last one that I'm just going to showcase today is for bleeding and repair, and it's helichrysum. And I always say, don't leave home without it because it's an oil that you want to have with you at all time because it stops bleeding. And especially really good for nosebleeds. It also pulls cuts together without stitches. It is the skin healer. So, I have so many stories I could tell you about this, but really quickly, let me share two quick ones. My sister arrived one day, and long story short, she didn't come in from her car. She was just standing out there. I wondered what was wrong with her. I went out there, and she had been standing at her car for about 10 minutes with a nosebleed. So I brought her up to the house. I ran and got my helichrysum and just put it on her nose, and immediately it stopped. I could not believe how fast it stopped. But my granddaughter actually fell and split her head open right above her eyebrow for the third time in 2 months. Of course, she was only, 3 or 4 year old, running around, very active. And my daughter called and she said, Mom, I don't want to go to the emergency for the third time in 2 months. Is there something else? And so I said, yeah, do you have helichrysum? And she went and got the helichrysum and just dotted on. I was so glad she had it. I've told my daughters, this is a very, very important oil to have. And she just dotted it on her split, and it pulled together, and she didn't have to have stitches. In fact, a week and a half later, when she came to the door, she showed me proudly that it didn't have a scar. The other two that were stitched up left scars. So that was kind of interesting. So it's such an important oil. And I definitely have that in my keychain at all times. So the question people ask me all the time is, can children use these at school? And it is a absolute yes. The fact is they're not pharmaceuticals. And if we kind of compare them side by side, and because they're not pharmaceuticals and they're not under a doctor's care, you can actually send them to school with your children. They're from nature. They're not patented where the pharmaceuticals are. They address root causes, not just treat a symptom. They accelerate, remember, the bodily processes, not just create an action. And there are no side effects against possible side effects for a pharmaceutical. And to me, I love them because they empower proactive wellness. And you can do this. And that's what I love about being a mom or a grandma. I feel like it really empowers me to be more in charge of my health and help my children, and not always feel that I have to be under a doctor's care. Even though there are times for that, I would not ever say don't use the doctor when you need one. The fact is, we can be more in charge of our health for a good part of the time with pure tested essential oils. It's time to be prepared for what if. And I look again, I really wanted to be more prepared for my children and my grandchildren, having solutions at my fingertips 24/7 for whatever happens. But I shared about my friend Holly, who, as we were going to our annual convention on the road, we came upon an accident. And I pulled over. I recognized two of my friends at the side of the road. And they told me that my friend Holly was out there actually helping those in need. And I thought, wow, I was so happy to know that she was there. She was there to help somebody. And I thought, would you be an asset in any type of an emergency? That's the question I'm asking myself, as well as I'm asking you. The fact that she was there helping people until emergency help arrived, which was actually 30 or 45 minutes because it was out in the middle of nowhere. She had her oils with her. She knew how to use them. She knew what to do first. And because of that, I'm sure that made a huge difference for the people that was in that accident until the other help arrived. So are you prepared for what if? This is why I feel this is important, because I want to be an asset. So to be more prepared and ready for anything is super simple. All you have to do is start with a few of doTERRA's essential oils, get them into your hands, and then learn how to use them. When you have a challenge, start using them. If you have a headache, if you have a tummy ache, if you have a fever, if you have an earache, whatever it is, use your essential oils or get the oils that you need so you have something that you can use. Put them to the test when you have a need. And if you have questions, always reach out because I'm here to help you and help answer your questions. I have a lot of resources that I can actually steer you to as well. So if you are new and don't yet have a kit, this is a great starter kit. It's called the Healthy Start Kit for $160. And actually, these are 10 5 ml bottles of oil. I have talked about most of those today. I've talked about others, but this one also comes with a pebble diffuser. I love this little diffuser. It sits right by my bedside, and I love turning it on when I need, not every night necessarily, but there are many nights that I do, and I'm so glad to have that there. There's also the Home Essentials kit for $270. People say, oh, that's way more money. Well, it's in the 15 ml bottles. So you actually get 3 times more of the oils for $110 more. And to me, that just makes sense. It's such a better buy, getting 3 times more oils. Actually, all of these are in the 15 ml bottles except for one, and that is your deep blue. And it's in a 5 ml. It's one of the more pricey oils. It also comes with a loose diffuser. And actually, it's a bigger and nicer diffuser. And like I said, this is a very nice package. For either of those packages, you could also add on any of those other oils that I talk about, like the helichrysum or the balance, adaptive, serenity. There's several that aren't in here. You could always add those, or you could actually get on our loyalty rewards program and add it on next month. Either way works. Be prepared for almost any mishap 24/7. Essential oils, they're safe, they're effective, and they're just affordable solutions. The dose is only 1 to 3 drops, and that is only 25 to 75 cents, which is great. I do have an event special, and that is you are able to get this little keychain for free. If you start with the Healthy Start Kit, you also get a choice of 1 oil vial filled. So I will actually fill one of those vials with your choice of oil, because this keychain actually is empty. Now, if you actually get the Home Essentials kit, which is the $270 kit, you get your choice of 3 oil vials filled, which is huge. So any of those oils that I've shown you here today, you can have your choice, except for the helichrysum. That one's a lot more pricey than any of the other oils. And so I am excluding that. But so you do get that choice of 3 oil vials filled of the oils of your choice. So if you would like to get started today, take a screenshot of this, because I have actually a link that you can go to. That's all you have to do. I don't have to, actually, you could go to dropbydropwellness.com and that will get you there as well. But if you want to just make it simple, if you want the Healthy Start Kit for $160 and get the 5 ml bottles of oils with the diffuser, then go to that link before, the QF28A0H5. Go to that link. Or if you want to start with the Home Essentials kit for $270 and get those 15 ml bottles, remember that's 3 times more for $110 more at the JATURHSS link. And remember, by doing that today, you actually will get that free keychain and 1 free bottle filled with your Healthy Start Kit, or 3 of those little vials filled if you purchase the Home Essentials Kit. Well, I hope all of you were able to learn a lot. It is so comforting to know that you can be prepared and that you have tools at your fingertips to manage many of the situations that come your way every day. So thanks again for being here. And I hope to be in touch with you soon.